Welcome back to our continued study of stewardship using the Stewardship Basics Bible Study found on the LCMS website under Stewardship. I am Pastor Wright, and today we're going to do a review before we get into the fullness of Lesson 4. Sort of review what we've done in Lessons 1, 2, and 3. So the first question for our review is, what is a steward? And again, just to remind you, a steward is one who manages the belongings of another in accordance with the will of the owner. A steward is one who manages or administers someone else's household affairs. He or she is a trustee or an agent for the benefit of the owner. A steward is the one who does the work of stewardship. So again, just continuing with the review. Our second question is, what is an owner? An owner is the person who holds title to a property or an object. This is a legal definition. An owner is the legal possessor of something. With ownership comes rights and privileges. It is the owner who gets to determine the ultimate purpose and use of that which is owned. Ownership also gives the responsibility to care for the item that is owned. This responsibility would include putting the task of steward into the right hands, using the right person or people. What was the first stewardship crisis? It's Genesis chapter 3. The first stewardship crisis was the fall into sin. Man and woman usurped the role of owner, which really belongs to God. Under the deception of the serpent, their hands reached out for what was not theirs. In their covetous theft, they broke the trust of being stewards. And then the next question is, in what way did Adam and Eve confuse the roles of owner and steward? They bought into the devil's lie that God was holding out on them. When this lie is swallowed, it becomes licensed to claim that which belongs to another. They started to think they were able to assert their will over the things which God had created, and by extension, owned. And the last question. What were the consequences of this sinful confusion of these roles? The initial consequence was broken relationship with God, with each other, and with creation. Shame caused them to hide from God. Blame caused Adam to blame Eve indirectly and God ultimately. The ground, which was cursed because of them, which was initially created to be support of all man's life, would now only yield toil, suffering, pain, and ultimately death. We continue to bear these consequences to this day. Well, again, this is just a review, and we will move into Lesson 4 in our next session. God's peace and blessings be upon you.